Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. Today we are talking about something that I just did that I literally still can't believe I did that. At the same time, I'm just so proud of myself. So let me tell you the backstory, right? I just recently came back from a business trip. I was in Arizona with my elite mastermind members. So these are people who are entrepreneurs, who are striving to continue to see the growth and success that they currently have and want more of it. And we're surrounded by each other and helping each other, lifting each other up, giving different ideas, collaborating in different ways. And it's a really, really awesome group to be a part of. So my mentor, Chris Harder, leads this, and he is a successful businessman. And so he knows a lot of very successful people. And he had this challenge. So we basically had a mock Shark Tank challenge, and basically there was 21 of us. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was 21 of us there. We got split up into 7 different groups, and each person, before we got split up into groups, each person, we had about 30 to 45 minutes to come up with an idea that we would pitch to a shark. If we were on Shark Tank, what would we pitch? A product idea, what would we sell? And as a dietitian who has a service-based business, coming up with a physical product for me was something I've never thought I would ever want to do or ever could do. It just wasn't a thought process in my thought process for me. And through talking with other people, they're like, well, you could do this, you could do that. And someone had mentioned something to me about potentially doing a physical product, and she's like, have you ever considered, doing a physical product in the name of your brand? And I was like, not really. As a dietitian, I believe in individualized care, and nothing really gets me super excited when it comes to bars or shakes, so I'm not that passionate where I would create one and kind of feel like it's a one size fits all approach. And she's like, no, I actually wasn't thinking about food, although for you, I know that that's important. But she's like, I was thinking more a clothing line, a body positivity clothing line or a bathing suit line. And she put this idea in my head, and I thought about it, but I was like, nah, not for me. Anyways, we get challenged to this Shark Tank idea. And so we have to come up with an idea. And so she gave me that idea. I was like, all right, let me explore it. I start doing some research, and I'm like, well, you know what? Actually, when you think about it, when it comes to bathing suits, how annoying are they to make? How annoying are they to find? And how upset do people get when they're trying to find a bathing suit? And it's such a frustrating process. Some people are smaller on the bottom, bigger on the top, or vice versa. So if you want to got a bikini and, it's one size, chances are you have to buy 2 bikinis to make it, to fit the top size, then match the bottom size, and it's either way, it's just not fun. And so I don't want to tell you guys my idea because I actually think I'm going to go through with this. So I don't want to tell you everything about it because it actually is brilliant. So I'll give you a sneak peek, but think of Stitch Fix, if you're not familiar with Stitch Fix, but basically you put in your body shape, if you're hourglass shaped or apple shaped or pear shaped, you kind of put your styles, you put your height and your weight and your age, and if you're looking for casual, whatever. And so Stitch Fix will give you, 3 different outfits that you get to try. And if you like it, you keep it. And if you don't, you return it back. So I have this idea to do it with bathing suits. Now, why am I sharing this with you today? So trust me when I say that the idea is so much better than that. It's so much better, but I don't want to give out all of the info because I really might do it, and I don't want anyone to steal my idea because it's actually world changing. It's literally going to change the way people think. It's going to change the way people behave. It's really, really inspiring. So I'm not going to give it away. But I will tell you that we all came up with these ideas. We got split into 3 different groups. It was groups of 3. Everyone in that group picked that one person that they thought that their idea sounded out. And so there were 7 people who got to present in front of real investors. So no, it was not actual Shark Tank, but these people are people that could potentially be the investors on Shark Tank. So they know what they're talking about. They're very knowledgeable, and I had to learn a lot of like the numbers, and I'm not really, I just want to help people. I'm when it comes to finances and math and how much money, basically you need money obviously to get this stuff started. It was just like, I learned a lot of new things, but that's not the thing that the title of this podcast is I Still Can't Believe I Did That. And I'm going to tell you what I did. So to talk about the reason why I felt it was necessary to have a body positivity swimsuit line is I obviously had to kind of share about how I used to not feel comfortable in a bathing suit, how the majority of women don't feel comfortable in a bathing suit. Shape magazine actually interviewed 4,000 women, and 11% of them felt extremely uncomfortable. Only 2% of them felt confident in a bathing suit, and 84% felt that they needed to get quote unquote bikini ready for the summer season. So those numbers are alarming, and it just goes to show that we have a lot of work to do when it comes to helping people understand that their weight is not tied to their worth, and that they actually don't need to change their physical body to feel confident in a bathing suit. There are definitely other ways to which you gain self-confidence, and it's not from necessarily changing your body, although that can be part of it. Shameless plug, because it just made me realize this is a lot of what I'm talking about right now is in my book. So I highly recommend going to the link in my show notes to get on the early bird list. We are getting ready to launch this baby. It is not going to be out when this episode comes out. So I believe this episode comes out on September 28th, but it likely will be out I can't tell you when. I don't want to say when. Get on the early bird list to get access to find out before I go public, before I tell, Instagram that the book is live, before I even tell my family members when the book is live, before I tell people on the podcast that the book is live. If you get on the early bird list, you get access to chapter 5, which talks all about how the scales don't measure what matters, and what actually matters, and how you can measure your health. And then you're going to get notified before everybody else of when the book's out, so you can buy the book. So this whole concept that I'm talking about, we're bringing it back to the body positivity and body image. And, I think so many people, regardless of their body size, even people who are aware from size 00 to 5XL, every single woman at one point in their life and in their journey feels that they need to change their body in order to be worthy of love and acceptance, in order to feel confident. And being in a bathing suit is very vulnerable. So the thing that I'm like, I still can't believe I did that. So to get my point across with this Shark Tank presentation, I had 5 minutes to present. I give a big spiel about why I think it's important. And then I kind of talk about how it's, women, it's time to come out of hiding, right? It's time to stop, not being in pictures with your loved ones, right? How many of you or maybe your family members have avoided being in pictures? So maybe you don't have any pictures with your mom in a bathing suit, right? Because it's just not something that she feels comfortable with. And then therefore you're not fully experiencing memories and enjoying life and all the things that you're missing out of. It's time to come out of hiding. And so I ended the presentation with me slowly stripping, like underneath my clothes, I had my bathing suit on. And I slowly, I take my hair out, I take my flip-flops off, I had a jacket, I take my jacket off, I take my cover up, which was a dress, I take the dress off, and I laid bare, because the company title of the bathing suit line is going to be Lay Bare. I just don't want anybody to steal this, so I'm so hesitant of what I should be sharing right now, because it's so good. But even if somebody did, it doesn't matter, because you don't know the inside secrets. But all that to say, I was in a bathing suit, in a bikini, in front of a room of 30 people. Some of them are who are my friends and who I know, but most of them are just people that especially the investors, I literally met them that day, right? So I was in my bikini in front of a room of 30 people, confident. I mean, I was nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous just because it was like, I don't know, like, I don't know how they're going to react. Like, I was nervous about the whole, the idea of coming up with an idea in under 30 minutes and presenting it to a whole room. Like, that was crazy to me, right? So, just the whole experience, like, my adrenaline was pumping and I was nervous, but at the end, I felt so good. I felt so good. So here I am in a bikini in front of an entire room of people and rocked it. I fucking rocked it. Excuse me. I just cursed. I don't really curse, but that's how excited I am. Like, I felt amazing. And that, I still can't believe I did that, because when it comes to thinking of a physical product and potentially like reaching out and getting investors to help build another business on the side of Tips with Tony, like, just like that in itself, this is what happens when you choose to invest in yourself and when you choose to surround yourself with people who are always thinking bigger and doing bigger and better things. Like, that whole trip in itself just gave me so much energy and just poured into me and just reminded me that, like, I have such a big purpose here. And you do too. If you're listening to this, you have a purpose on this earth. It does, and it can be as big or as small. Nothing's really small. As whenever you're stretching yourself, there's nothing small about that. But you can do whatever you want to do. Like, you could literally be whoever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to be around the right people. You might have to invest. Part of masterminds is a joke that you pay for friends, but it's true. If I didn't invest as much money as I did to get in that room with people, I wouldn't have met those people. I wouldn't have had this idea. I would probably just be going through doing what I'm doing right now. Honestly, me choosing to have dietitians so we can help more people, that I wouldn't have been doing that. I actually remember choosing to hire Chris with the idea of knowing that I know that this is the next step. I know that this is what I need to do, but I need permission. I need support. I need to see the bigger vision, because if not, I'll just continue going through the motions. I'll continue coaching, 30, 40, 50 clients a month, exhausted, almost on the verge of burnout, never really growing and expanding. Like, we are here and put on this earth to grow and expand. And if I didn't choose to be in that room of people, it wouldn't have been possible for me. So that's the part that I still can't believe I did that. The other thing that maybe if you watched my stories, you maybe have saw a little sneak peek of that. And you're like, oh, you were on Shark Tank? Like, no, it looked like I was on Shark Tank. No, it was just a mock thing. But what you didn't see is earlier that week, on Monday, we arrived on Monday. It was in Arizona. It was really, really hot, like 110 degrees hot. So I was laying by the pool for a matter of 5 minutes before I was sweating. And then I went to underneath where it was covered. There was like a cabana with some fans. And that's the day that people started to arrive, right? So here I am in a different bikini, whatever. Anyways, I'm in a bikini. I'm laying down. Now, different members start to come, and I text them, like, hey, I'm here by the pool if you want to, hang out or whatever, or just catch up. We didn't have anything to do till, like, later that night, so we were all just kind of settling in. And I was observing myself having full-blown conversations, completely confident in my skin, sitting not with a towel covering my stomach when I was kind of sitting upwards and I wasn't laying flat, not feeling like I needed to cover up, just being myself, being free and just talking. And nobody was staring at my body. Nobody was judging me. If anything, I actually mentioned one of the girls that was in my group later for the Shark Tank thing. I said to her, I said, I just recently started to really realize how much I've healed my body image just by the fact that, earlier when we were talking by the pool on Monday, I didn't care that I was sitting in a weird position. She's like, I noticed you just being you and just being so comfortable and confident. I think that's such a powerful thing. And I said, yeah, it's honestly, it's so freaking cool. It's so freaking cool. I had, one of the guys in the group taking photos of us while we were like in the pool and doing all these things. And normally, like, I would be so self-conscious. Like, I'm self-conscious around women for sure, but around men, I was extremely self-conscious. And I was just like, no, I didn't care. I haven't posted these pictures yet. I don't know if I might before you get it, before you guys listen to this episode. But I literally said to him, I was like, no, I want you to get it when I'm like not perfect. I was like, no, I want people to see that it's so normal that you could look flat when you lay down, and when you sit up, you have belly rolls. Like, that's a normal thing. And I just, like, that's the thing. I like still can't believe how I used to hate my body. I used to obsess about what I would wear. I used to, so much of my energy and my headspace was obsessed and worried and stressed and just like, oh God, like draining, physically, mentally, emotionally draining, of how much of my brain space was occupied by my body image. And the fact that I have now been able to come to a place where I feel confident enough to sit cross-legged and upward and not having to cover my belly when I'm in a bikini, while like talking to people. The fact that I could literally stand in front of an entire room in a bikini, in a bathing suit, like I'm just gonna like absorb that for a second. That is freaking awesome, right? And I want that for you guys. I want you to feel healed, because you can. Because when you free up all of that mental headspace that's taken up by that negativity and that negative self-talk and that critical, just like criticism, really, and you free that up, that's when you can have these like monstrous business ideas. That's when you just have the energy to be fully present with people and just engaging in conversation and really learning. In those conversations, I learned so much. And that's, I'm sure I'll be, on a future episode talking about a lot of the lessons I learned on that trip and talking with all these different people. Honestly, you're going to hear from future people on the podcast that I'm going to interview soon that are part of that group, and just the amount of wisdom and knowledge, and I was able to receive it and be fully present with it, and implement it. Because when you have, when your body image absorbs a majority of your day and your mind, it destroys your confidence. It's really hard to do the things that you want to do, right? So maybe you're currently in a job that you hate and you don't have the confidence to leave it. Maybe because you feel like your body's holding you back. Well, I'm here to tell you that doesn't have to be your story. You can change the way that you think. You can change the way that you feel. And you can truly just like love every part of yourself. And I say that to say that it takes, I've said this before, but I understand there's always new listeners. So thank you for the new listeners. Thank you for the returning ones. But you're not going to go from hating it to loving it overnight, right? But there is a transitional component, right? You might hate it so much that you're so cruel and evil to it on a majority, like most days out of the week, right? To moving slowly to an acceptance. So you don't hate it, but you don't love it. You kind of just, it's a body, right? But you're not excited about it. It's just a body. And then you have those days where you love it. And don't get me wrong, I definitely still have like bad body image days, but I know it's a bad body image day. I know it's a day that I'm either super stressed or I'm not feeling well or I'm super tired. I know that it's not real. So I don't allow it to dictate what I do the rest of the day. I don't allow it to destroy, if I go to an event or if I don't go to an event. I just don't allow it to take over me in the ways that it used to. I choose to understand it as just that, one singular moment or one singular day. But that's like rare nowadays. That's pretty rare. Most days I'm like really proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself. And you can be proud of yourself too. I know it probably sounds so far-fetched, but trust me, I used to hate my body so much. I literally I was 13 years old and I wrote a poem about how much I hated my body, so much that my English teacher had to send me to the guidance counselor. And it was like pretty obvious I was screaming for help, right? So, all that to say, I know how it feels to hate it. I know how it feels to almost feel like, just frustrated by it. But I also know how it feels to be on the other end. I know how it feels to love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. And that is possible for you. So I wanted to share this with you because I think there's a couple different lessons. I think one, you are capable of doing more than you think in regards to, like, here I am now thinking of this whole new business adventure. And honestly, if I hadn't created this space, I probably would still be doing what I was doing and just coaching and coaching and coaching. But now I can do both coaching and run a business and explore different business adventures. And there's just so much more to that. So open up your mind to the possibilities, but the only way to do that is to heal your relationship with food and heal your relationship with your body, because if not, it's just going to be jaded. You're going to feel stuck. It's going to be hard, right? So the other lesson is it's possible to love your body, and we can help you do that. So if you work with a dietitian one-to-one, we will help you to heal your relationship with food and learn to care for your body, show it love and respect. And the more you love it and treat it with respect and consistently over time take care of it, you're going to fall in love with it, right? Think about a partner, right? If you don't take care of that partner, you're not going to love it and it's not going to love you, right? Nobody likes an abusive relationship, right? But if you take care of that person, right, and they take care of you back, right, your body will work with you back. As you care for your body's going to respond back, right? So as you start to cultivate that relationship, that body image transformation is possible for you too. So if you need help and you need guidance and you need support, then I highly recommend going to www.tipswithtony.com/coaching. You'll fill out an application. There's a video about the program. When you fill out the application, you'll get notified to schedule your discovery call. We'll hop on a call, make sure you're a good fit. I'll pair you with one of my dietitians, and then you have 6 months to unlearn old habits and behaviors, relearn new ones, and along the way, learn to just treat your body better, love your body more. And by the end of it, you might not, everyone's journey and length of time is different, so you might not love it so much, but you will definitely hate it less. And my guess is you'll start to appreciate it and accept it and just be proud of it, whether you choose to change it or not as a result of that. All right? So I hope you found this episode inspiring, motivating, helpful. And if you didn't get on the early bird list to find out when Once Upon a Diet, the book Once Upon a Diet, will be out, go and get on that list right now. And the copies will be available for you soon. So the sooner you're on the list, the sooner you find out. And then you get a sneak peek by reading chapter 5. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I'm Toni Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.